And as promised, let's get you the first corporate conversation on the show. Action Construction Equipment, or ACE, delivered a strong second quarter. The company's actually reported its highest ever revenue for the quarter, but high raw material prices did weigh a little bit on the margin. So we will talk more about that. But to discuss the quarter gone by as well as the outlook for the years to come, we have Saurabh Agarwal, who is Executive Director of Action Construction Equipment, on the show now. Mr. Agarwal, good morning and thanks for joining us. This is Pavitra. So, it's been a very good quarter for you. Like I said, the highest ever revenue that you have seen in Q2 at almost 500 crores. Earlier when we spoke, you said, you could see around 2,500 crores by FY 24. Do you think you could see higher than that now, considering that you've seen such solid growth in this quarter?
Yes, good morning. That definitely is a possibility. We had planned to attain about 2,500 crores by FY 24. So it seems that we might be able to exceed it. The quantum I will know with time.
Okay, 2,500 crores by FY24. What do you think can lead to that? Is it the export markets? Because you have exposure to markets which are under a lot of pressure, whether it's Africa, some of the Middle Eastern regions. Are you expecting a recovery there? And what kind of growth do you see?
We've been thinking and planning of improving our export revenues, and then that's been happening. And this year again, we should be doing upwards of 100 crores. So that will definitely add to our target of reaching 2,500 crores. And obviously, it will be much more next year, coupled with some more defense business and obviously growth in our regular businesses, whether it's our crane division or material handling or construction equipment division within the country. So I think all in all put together, we are on the right track to attain what we had planned for.
So FY23 export revenue should be in excess of 100 crores, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Could you just talk a bit about the segmental revenues? Your material handling equipment revenues declined by 5%. Even the agri equipment revenue growth was a bit subdued compared to the kind of growth rates that you've seen in the cranes business, for instance, at just about 6%. Could you give us the reason for these two segments and why the performance was a bit tepid?
See, in our material handling segment, there was some relocating, relayouting happening. So there was some production issues. So I'm sure we'll catch up. But if you look at half-yearly basis in both the segments, again, we have grown. And by about 44% in agri and about 6% in our material handling segment. So hopefully, we'll continue this growth. And by year end, we should be able to grow in both these segments again.
Okay. So production issues impacted the material handling equipment, which should recover in Q3. What is the growth rate for these two segments, agri equipment and material handling?
By end of the year, we are expecting that both these segments will grow upwards of about 15%.
Okay.
Okay, and what about the construction segment? Because I know last quarter, of course, you did see weakness on account of the BS4 norms, but how is that shaping up now?
It's shaping up pretty well, and hopefully in the construction equipment segment, we should be doing about 30-35% growth. And crane segment would be about 25%.
Okay, and for construction equipment, your margins are still, in low single digits, about 5%, 7%. Any scope to improve that?
I think we are on the verge of pleasantly surprising everybody.
Okay.
So hopefully Q3 and Q4 onwards, they should start to look much better. Maybe somewhere between 7-8%, maybe even higher.
So double-digit margins, perhaps?
Yeah, and then hopefully next year we should hit double digits even in the construction equipment sector.
Okay. You're saying in the press release, and I read, going forward, there has been some easing of commodity prices and supply chain pressure, and the company expects sequential improvement in gross margins if things stay as they are. How much do you think your gross margins could improve, and what's the number that you're targeting?
We've already seen some improvement in the last quarter as compared earlier. And in Q3, we should further see at least 1.5% improvement there. And going forward, I think it should be a total of about 2% by end of Q4.
Okay. You are the market leader in the mobile cranes and the tower crane segment, so you will be better placed to tell us about the kind of projects that are coming on board. Is it the pending projects that are seeing a renewal, or is fresh money being put on board? Is it largely by private? Are you seeing government orders as well? Just some color if you can throw for us.
I think everything is growing in that sense, especially led by metro construction, rail construction, bullet train construction, a lot of private things further happening in refineries and other projects, bigger projects. Even a lot of steel companies are on expansion mode, whether it is JSW and even Kalinganagar was just picked up at Tata. So things look good. Yes, in the last 1 or 2 quarters, definitely roads have slowed down a little, but that hardly contributes about 5-6% to our revenue. But I'm sure with time, even a road will pick up.
Okay. Mr. Agarwal, you had set up a new manufacturing facility for bigger cranes. Can you tell us what's happening with that? When should that start contributing?
Yes. See, we are also into the business of truck cranes and crawler cranes, which are bigger cranes, upwards of 40-50 tons capacity. So we are now intending to make even bigger cranes up to 160 tons, crawler cranes, etc. So we need a bigger facility. So we doing a capex of around 30-35 crores, setting up this factory, which will have a potential to do anywhere between about 300 crores to 400 crores of revenue.
Will this be operational?
We intend to make it operational by end of quarter 4 or early quarter 1 next year.
Okay, just one final question. Since you're saying that demand has gone up across the board, private, government, steel, cement, etc., would you at any point look to raise your capex? Have you changed your capex plans either for this year or next?
See, in the current year, like I said, we are expanding our new facility. I'm rather building a new facility for the bigger cranes. And I'm sure going forward in the next year, we will need to do capex to further increase our capacities of especially mobile cranes.
Okay, thank you very much, Saurabh, for joining in. That is ACE saying that in the cranes business, the revenue growth will be 25%. In the construction equipment business, the growth rates will be 30-35%. They expect significant recovery to take place in the other two segments, material handling and agri segments, which are expected to see a growth of about 15%. And they're also guiding for gross margins to improve by nearly 200 basis points in the next 2 quarters by Q4 end from where it currently stands. The stock is a bit